Hello everybody, my name is Lewis, and welcome to a wonderful, new, exciting game review, thing. So this is called AdVenture Capitalist. This is actually a pretty entertaining game for the first 15 to 20 minutes, and then the rest is kind of turns into an app that you would find on Facebook or your iPhone, where you have to wait a very long time until the money kind of builds up. And anyways, what's basically going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and restart this and show you from the very beginning what it is like to actually play this game. Now, I do have to say this game is very entertaining to play. As much as it's kind of like an info app, and it actually is an iPhone app, so if you guys don't get it for the PC or off Steam, you can just simply get it for your iPhone. It does have a lot of interesting aspects to it than most kind of games. Especially because it's an app form. So, let's go ahead and restart this, and then I'll show you from the beginning how to play this. Okay, so this is basically what it looks like when you have a fresh start of a new game. Now, I'll be going into some of the kind of basics of everything and talking about kind of how to play and stuff. Because like I said, there is a lot to this, although it's kind of a simplistic game from the foreground. There's a lot of background things, a lot of upgrades, and a lot of time. If you put enough time into it, you can get some really nice things out of it. So first, we should start at the swag and stats, and basically at the swag and stats, it tells you kind of the basics of your character. So it shows here what your guy owns and stuff like that. And as we go on, you can buy mansions, you can buy suits, you can buy things like that. Badges, all your badges will appear here, as well as how much cash you have on you. I have $1.22. In this session, I only earned $1.22, but in my whole entire lifetime, I have owned 5.7.14 trillion, I can't even, what? And then as well as I have total angels 11, and I'll explain the angel type things later. So then we have our unlocks, which is basically kind of like upgrades and things we get when you meet a certain level. So if we get 25 lemonade stands, we get a ×2 on our cash. So that means it runs faster and it does stuff, as well as all these other different things. And if we go through here, there is a lot. So I'm not going to go through all these because it goes all the way to the oil company, and that's 6 different companies that have all these things. In our managers, basically what these do is that the point of the game is that you kind of have to click these things, but when you buy managers, they click them for you, so you can basically leave the game and they will produce money for you while you're away. Investors, this is where the angels come in. The investing angels are kind of a way for you to sell your company and make angels when you sell your company, and then you can use those angels to buy increase on your times and boosts, as well as your increase on money and making certain things cheaper, so then it kind of helps you get farther in the game. And I've so far done this twice, and I have 11 angels now, and it's pretty good to do this, although it kind of stinks because you're selling your profits. It does help you in the end. And then of course in the store you can go and buy gold, which allows you to buy more angels, as well as a fancy gold suit, which seems a lot of money for nothing. So basically, as we start here, this is the kind of foreground area that makes it really simple and easy to follow. The background is kind of more confusing, and after a while you can kind of get lost because there's so many different add-ons. But basically all you have to do is click here. Wow. So interesting. And basically what you're doing right now is clicking this is kind of like you're running a lemonade stand and you're selling lemonade and you're making cash for it. And then of course, with one lemonade stand we're only making $1.22, but if we go ahead and upgrade and get a second lemonade stand, we get twice as much money, and it allows us to gain more money. And then you can go and go and go and buy a bunch more, and then slowly after a while you'll be making tons of cash on all these lemonade stands, and it will allow you to buy new things such as newspaper delivery. What? I know. Now if we go ahead and buy the newspaper delivery, you can tell that when we do this one it's only $8.54, but when we do this one it's $73, but it takes longer. So there was a boom. This one's so we can do 3 lemonade stands in the amount of newspaper, but in return we're making more money for the newspaper, although it takes longer. And of course, I want to make sure that this one is upgraded as far as I can upgrade this one. There we go. Now, as you can see, we have a car wash unlocked now. Now, we could buy the car wash, or we can go ahead and go to managers and buy our first manager, which is Cabe Johnson. These are all jokes of celebrities and cartoon characters and things. But let's go ahead and click him. So now, as you can see, he is flying away with our lemonade stand, and we can upgrade this a little bit more and see how far we can upgrade this. Beautiful. Seizure. So the big thing I'd like to mention before we go any further is that when you actually buy more stands, like if we're getting more newspaper stands, the price increase, so it makes it even harder and more expensive to actually get them. Of course, in doing that, though, you're also kind of increasing your profits and how fast you get them as well. So in a way, it's kind of useful to spend it, but after enough, it kind of gets really expensive. So you can't really go straight into it and start, filling up these things. You got to actually start getting more places and getting more cash from all these different places, and then you can start go ahead and upgrading. So I want to show you here is that we're about to get 100 lemonade stands, and if we do this, whoa, it's infinite! So basically right now we are getting every second $122, which is really nice, and that's going to be flying up really fast. And if you notice, we could buy another manager. There you go. Thank you, manager. So the reason this thing is always glowing is because I have an angel. If we come down past all our different managers, we can buy Sully and Ebenezer. So if we buy these, I'll show you what they do. Yep, spend an angel, magical, and spend another angel. And now what that's going to do is that's going to help increase everything. Make it really awesome. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get ourselves another manager here for our car shop and go ahead and buy the pizza delivery, because why not, right? So another big thing I would like to mention is that if we look over here in the top right corner, you can tell there's these kind of like weird tag type things, like price tags. Basically, if you go through these, it will tell you kind of different options of how you buy different things. So if we have ×1, you can only buy one of each item, which is kind of helpful if you want to try to regulate how much you're buying. If you do 10, it will only pop up if you buy 10, so you can only buy 10. If you do 100, you can only buy 100 of them, which is really nice, but it takes a really long time. Or you can do what I like the most, which is max, which basically you get the max amount of them for your money. So basically, it spends all your money just on the item, which is a little bit nicer because it's faster to increase one thing if you want to, or to increase several different things in a certain amount of time. Okay, so I went ahead and got a donut shop, and I started upgrading the pizza shop more. And as you can tell here is that it takes a short amount of time for the pizza shop to produce money than the donut shop. But as you can tell from upgrading, we now have a lot more money coming out of the pizza shop than we do the donut shop. So it actually really increased their production. But as you can see, we got a open upgrade now, and we're going to go ahead and do that because it double threes our profit on our lemonade stand, which is very useful. And I just noticed up here that we could actually buy that. So this is kind of like a quick buy tool. I don't know if this is from our investor Sully or not, but it does make it a little bit easier when this is there. I do have to say the app version is very similar to this. There's only a slight difference, and that is just the way that it's orientated. If you put your phone up, it kind of goes down to like a list form that you can scroll through, which I think is a little bit nicer. But of course, when you turn it sideways, you get this kind of view the same. And we have another manager. Ooh, Mamacita, yeah. Oh, hello. You're doing great. Keep on biggering my good fellow. Fancy. Okay, so I got a little bit farther. I bought the manager for the donut shop, and I went ahead and got the shrimp boat fishery eatery type place thing. And I just wanted to show you guys that right here is taking a whole minute for us to make $622,000. And that's a lot of money, but it's a lot of time to take just to do that, especially for a game like this. I mean, there's some other different things you could do. I mean, like, you could go ahead and buy more of these, or, do certain things like that. But in return, though, it's still, like, whole 2 minutes that you have to waste. And that is just only the shrimp boat restaurant thingy. If we go all the way down to the oil company, it takes a whole 10 hours for you to make the whole amount of money that you get from the oil company. So as you can tell, these kind of increase in times as well as in money, though. So this whole entire game, I think, was basically just an app they converted over to a Steam game. I do have to say, though, it is pretty entertaining, especially when you have nothing to do, or you're watching like a really boring video, or you're just kind of being like whatever and driving in a car for a really long time. You can just come onto your app or come onto Steam or something and just check it out real quick. Also, if I were to actually leave the game in return, it would show me how much money I made while I was gone, and it will actually save that money for me. So I technically don't actually have to be on this 24/7. I think that's where the kind of more app part comes in, like Farmville and stuff like that. Now, of course, I do have to say I'm not being sponsored by this. I just thought this was a really interesting game because you don't really see a lot of games, especially with this kind of style, out there. And if there is, I have not personally seen them or experienced them, except for this one, obviously. But that's basically it for this episode. I just wanted to show you guys AdVenture Capitalist and kind of the basics of what's happening in it. And once again, I do have to say it is a very entertaining game, although it takes a while to actually accomplish everything. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys check out some of my other videos. I posted a vlog earlier this week, and it basically kind of explains the new channel and what's been happening before the new channel. And if you guys don't know anything about that, or if you guys have any questions or anything, you guys can leave me a private message on YouTube or just email me, and I can just write you back and tell you basically what's happening. As well as sooner or later, we're gonna do a live stream that's gonna be a Q&A, and we're gonna be doing probably some Call of Duty or some Minecraft. Hopefully SMP will start working again, and I can start making new videos for you guys for that. And you guys can learn more when those videos start coming out. So thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll see you next time.